Hello, everyone. Hello to everyone in the chat. I'm sorry that I'm going to struggle tonight because I've got a bit of an echo in my ears, but hopefully you don't hear it your side. William said he certainly doesn't hear it. Are you okay, William?
I'm okay.
How's
Depends
your
on who
week
you
been?
ask. Pardon me?
How's your week been?
It's been pretty good so far. Um, I did a gallery reading Saturday out of town, and that was a lot of fun. And
Good.
we had a 3-day holiday for Labor Day.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah, we.
Annette, Nettie, just to let you know, I sent you a message. I don't know if you saw it, Nettie. Hello, Nettie. Hi, Nicola. Hi, Carl. How's
Ah,
Vegas treating you?
you're in Vegas in this weather?
He's moved out there. He's such a
Oh,
lucky bugger.
people usually go there in the winter.
He's living there.
Then it's only 85 instead of 185.
Hi, Eric. He says he's feeling hot, hot, hot. Well, you're not missing anything here. It's about 27 degrees and it's raining. So, yeah. Wayne's in the house. Hello, Wayne. And my sister Rita.
Hi.
Well, tonight, guys, we're supposed to be talking about copycats and paranormal that was picked out of Eric's Jar of Doom last week. So we'll just go with the flow
Okay.
and see what happens. But we don't know where our other co-hosts are. So Mark hasn't attended, and Dan has disappeared. So okay, no problem, Nettie.
I
So
think I should take it personally.
why?
I'm on the show and they decided to disappear.
Well, I've had a couple of weeks off, so my son did something really silly like get married, and Andy had a birthday. So I've, mind you, in 3 years, some time off has been really nice to really enjoy myself.
Hmm.
So yeah, but we'll come back. We've come back fighting. Woo, 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 woo.
Well, and I mean, what amazing events. I mean, it sounds like you and Andy had a beautiful day on his birthday. The wedding sounds fantastic. And it's always a beautiful thing to have people celebrating love.
Yeah,
There's not enough of that in this world. And so, yeah, good for you.
just sending a message to Mr. Eric. So, copycats in the paranormal. What
Yeah.
is it and what is it about? I mean, have you thought about that at all, William?
I'm not sure that I have. I notice things occasionally. Usually, when somebody's copied what I do, they lift the format of a class or um, the name of an event I'm doing or something like that. But where is it copycatting and where is it? There are only so many different ways to throw things together, and it's natural that people are going to have similar ideas about many
I think
things.
it's nice. Don't you think it's nice if they look up to you and they want to do what you're doing to a degree?
Oh, yeah. But I'm not even sure that all the time it's a direct copy or just something that either it's familiar and it sticks in their mind and they say, oh, or or they've come up with it on their own too, just independently. It's
Yeah.
not, sometimes it's real easy to tell. And I know cases where people study the the
Yeah.
medium or something, and then go take copy, imitate on
Yeah.
stage. Um, that I have an issue with, especially when they don't even give any credit to the person they're unofficially and against their knowledge learning from, without permission. Um, and I think a lot of investigation is copying what people see, but sometimes what is the difference between copying and learning from? And
Yeah.
this is what your example is. So, it sounds like a really cut and dried issue, but when I think about it a little bit, it isn't. And there's so many nuances to it.
What do you think about these people that copycat what they see on the TV? So, for example, Zach or Yvette Fielding, you know, what are your thoughts about that?
If you're going to well,
No, it's not going to.
copycat or
Hey, why did you do that?
learn from the ones that are really good. One of the things I tell people, if it's sensational on television, it's probably not real. Or if it is real, it's being exaggerated
Mm.
because that's what sells. And I'm not going to say positive, negative about the investigators or whatever. There are only a couple of them out there that I know personally. Neither one of them are on a show right now. And the people I know, I have huge respect for. But I know that's not always universally true. But the shows are designed to make money for the production companies
Thank you.
and the
Yeah.
shareholders. And so they're going to be edited and produced in a way that is going to give shock
I don't know
value
why it was being
to
goofy.
entertain.
So, hi, Eric. Glad you
Hi,
could
Eric.
join us. Um,
Yeah.
I find that there are, like, especially in the paranormal, in ghost hunting, there are two camps of people. There are, it's all a hobby. Nobody gets paid for it. But
Right.
you get what I call the more serious investigator that does the research, that looks at the venue, that knows where they want to investigate, knows what equipment they're going to bring and take it more seriously, does all the analysis. And then you have the other type that just wants a thrill.
Right.
But they might have equipment, they might be part of a group, they might go out and investigate 2 or 3 times a month, but that's
Uh-huh.
as far as it goes. They want to film it and put it on TikTok,
Yep.
Right.
or YouTube or whatever. So there are two different camps. When I go and do a serious investigation and I see somebody trying to copy what they've seen on Ghost Adventures or Most Haunted or whatever TV show that they've been watching, I look at them and think, nah, then they're definitely not the right person for my team. But that's my choice, you know. I don't think that they're at that level where they really know how to investigate. It's all still quite new to them. So when it comes to investigating, I think they're copycatting what they're seeing on TV because that's all they know, that's all they've been taught.
Right.
And if they see us doing it a different way and they still choose to do it that way, then I just can't have them on my team, to be quite honest.
Right.
Um,
But I wonder, can you talk to them and say, there are some other ways of doing this that, on
mm.
television they're showing you something that sells.
But the
But
thing
you
is,
might
when they
find that
see
there's,
they
pardon me?
see they've had this Zach embedded in their brain, or they've had Yvette Fielding embedded in their brain. Even though
Uh-huh.
we have to thank them for they've put the fire in our bellies and made us want to go out and investigate,
Uh-huh.
the investigators need to take some kind of responsibility and find the right way of doing it.
Right. And part of that is knowing that they're doing it the wrong a way that is considered um less than helpful or less than professional.
Mm,
Um and if they're not interested in listening, that's another story. Well, you just don't work with them.
yeah.
Um but I try to stay away from too much criticism and finger pointing, and try to do a little more educating if I can.
Yeah.
Um, and there is a group though too that you did forget to mention. You have a lot of people over there that make money off of investigations, off of public ones, and we're getting more and more of that over here. And people, in fact, one of my places that I used to do a lot, I think, has gotten tied up around somebody who is controlling it all now. And um, that's okay. Whatever the locations want to
Sure.
do. But again, you're not going to get. I guess there's a difference. I'm trying to say between a public investigation, which is a sample, an
Yeah.
introduction to a location, can be a lot of fun, but it's not a serious investigation. It can't be. Um, but it's a good introduction for people, and um, I've gotten especially Most Haunted. I've found all kinds of places I want to go because of that show.
Hmm.
And I mean, I don't trust the history on any show that isn't a PBS or BBC or National Geographic special, but I will. It'll intrigue me enough with what they put that I'll double check what they say about it, and often it's correct. Um, and so, we can learn something from these things. It's just we have to choose what to learn and not to learn, you know.
Wayne's
And
just said, with the newer generation of investigators, I think they will copy others, but because it's put on social media, it opens doors for people to say, "But that's a good idea. We'll try that." And while I agree with that, Wayne, I also have a disagreement with that. And my disagreement is they see rubbish on social media. When I say rubbish, like even the investigators that have a bit of noddle about them, they'll see that idea on social media, but rather than tweak it and fit it into something that they could use, they'll copycat it for exactly what it is.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, well, that
Rather
goes
than
back
saying,
to
well, yeah, that's a good idea. How could we incorporate that in our investigations by doing this? Or, rather than shouting and saying, can you step forward? Oh, honestly, that's my biggest gripe. Thank you, Andy.
hi, Andy.
They said hello.
Hello, who's on?
It's good to see you. Good day at work.
Yeah, he's just run away.
Yeah.
I've not run away.
Well,
Can
and
I
that
just
comes
can I
back.
just
Yeah,
say
yeah.
before we go forward with this interview, with this discussion, I want to wish Josh Miotta a very happy birthday because it's Josh's birthday today.
Happy
Should
birthday,
we
young
should we
man.
sing to him?
Sure.
Sure. My voice is out of tune. I'm still gravelly from sleep.
We'll just sing on the count of three. Happy birthday, and sing whatever version you want. Ready?
Sure.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to
to
you.
you.
Happy
I went
birthday
to
to
the
you.
zoo.
Happy
I
birthday,
saw a big
dear
fat
Josh.
monkey and it
Happy
looked just
birthday
like
to
you.
you.
Johnny Puss.
Ahorita.
I
I hope you
thought I
like
heard
that.
the cat screaming in agony back there.
I think
Um,
Josh's ears are bleeding now, to be
yeah, yeah. No, but your comment actually was a good one about with the social media. It's it shows the need and a severe lack that I find in people's ability to use critical thinking, analytical skills, research
Mm,
skills,
yeah,
because there is so much fake information out there now
Mhm.
that's disguised to look like it's coming from legitimate sources.
yeah,
One letter can be off. I mean, there's so many things. And elections are influenced. Civil unrest. Look at the
I know.
riots you had because somebody lied on social media
Mm-hmm.
I
just
know.
the other day.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, huge damage and violence, and because somebody lied.
Yeah.
And so
Jeremy said that he's just done reading a book about I can't even say that word,
sensationalism.
in social media in the paranormal field, and it's not just about people copying from one another, but downright stealing ideas and not crediting and trying to steal the spotlight. Now that is the word that I think we're all missing: spotlight.
Yep.
Even stealing somebody's group page and such. Now that happens a lot.
I've seen it. I've known people that have had it happen to them. Not often, but it's happened. And it happens. You're welcome, Josh. Um, but it
Yeah,
happens in so many fields too. It's not just the paranormal. And I don't have much time for that.
that was a special song for Josh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Josh said, I recently had this happen to me. I had somebody take my video and put their graphics over it and added a cash app. That is so bad when people
Yeah.
are making money out of you.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm not savvy enough to know how to stop it.
Right.
You know.
I think, I don't know about you, Eric, but over the years, and I'm sure William will back me up with this, I've seen reputable paranormal groups that just do not post on social media because of this exact thing.
Or
I've
do
had. Go on, Garrick.
or do it very little. You know, like don't do very many public investigations and don't post it, or if they do a private, like a team one, they don't post any video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, Wayne. Exactly, Wayne. You know, I had someone use some of my intellectual property and never credited me. And because I have such large platforms that I can out them, they took it down eventually. But yeah, to steal somebody else's work and try and claim it on as your own is a big no.
Yeah. Try to copyright things if you can, but then you still have to deal with.
Do you know there are apps? So you put a picture up and you have a full apparition in it, or what you believe to be a full apparition, and you put your copyright logo across the middle. There are apps now that can take that copyright wording off your pictures
Yeah.
I believe
and
it.
even off videos. It's
And it's all probably free to get your hands on.
yeah, yeah. Um, it's really bad.
Wow.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. How
That's
can they
rich.
steal the page? They must
I
hack
think this is
into it
where
and
Meta.
hack into it and change the passwords.
I think this is where Meta lets a lot of people down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I'm really sorry that's happened to you, Jeremy.
Crazy.
That's bad. I think I know what you're talking about there, Wayne. That is naughty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have respect for people doing that. Any of that. Call me an arsehole. Those uh, those people need to be beaten. I'm not sorry. The lady after my own heart there.
Mm-hmm. Well, even that, just like me watching some of these shows on giving them ideas when they're doing their live investigation. It's like you're just using one cat ball. Granted, it's a cat ball for an answer. Why don't you use one for yes and one for no, or something for yes and something for no? That's a good idea, and then they never use your idea. Like,
Hmm.
well, then you're not going to get the answers you want.
No.
So
Do you know
that's the
what?
reverse of copying.
Hmm?
That's the reverse of copying. Then
Yeah.
you're
And-
giving
Yeah.
them hints and their
But still, I mean,
ideas, and
Randy was talking earlier about using different techniques. I mean, you gotta open your mind up, do something different. You know.
Yeah.
yeah,
Or just leave the cat balls at home.
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well, like with me, you know, I like to talk to dead people. I like them to show me their history. I like the buildings to talk to me. I like the locations and see what was there. And usually by the time all that's done, um, as a medium, it's like, okay, I'm done now. I can go home. Um, the rest of, I know they exist
Hmm.
and I know they're in the place. And I
Mm,
love it when they do something that shows us they're there, that we can see and hear physically. I love it.
yeah.
But I'm not into it for the shits and giggles. I'm not in, you need to go and respect the location and the beings that you're coming into contact with. It's
Yeah.
their space.
Exactly.
And
See, like what's it? Wayne has just said he's still happy telling people to use a coin and paper and trigger objects, good old fashioned investigating. But this good old fashioned investigating has gone right out of the window. And people want to use ITC. They don't even know what that is.
I don't know what
They
it is.
they buy these gizmos and gadgets, and they don't know how to use them. A K2 meter is not a yes/no thing. It will just read EMFs and fluctuations. Cat balls. Do you know what? For me personally, if you're going to use a cat ball, I'll take it tongue in cheek and just say, yeah, what is a laugh, That is not for me, it's not proper investigating. There has to be more around it than just a cat ball.
Yep.
So you'll need your voice recorder or other things going off as well. But this is just all personal preferences. But they will watch people on social media just using a cat ball. And if a cat ball goes off, because they'll ask, is there anybody here? Cat ball will go off. So they'll read that as a yes. Are you male or female? Cat ball goes off. Oh, yeah, must be male. How many of you are here? It goes off. Oh, there's 10. Do you see what I mean? And to me, that is like, what? But that's just me. And if you're copycatting that, and another gripe of mine, people that do this, right? Hello, can you copy me? And they bang on the wall and expect the spirit to copy them. It's like, get off, like, really? It didn't work when Yvette Fielding was doing it. And you honestly think they're going to do it for you? If it's an intellectual haunting, an interactive haunting that wants to communicate with you by acting like a prick, they're going to walk away or laugh at you.
Yeah, treat them the way that you would, well, treat them the way that you would like to be treated yourself. I almost
Exactly.
said the way that you would like that you'd treat anybody who was physically present and breathing. But there are a lot of people that don't treat others well, so
Yeah.
I
So
don't want
William's
to
in the
say
house.
that.
Yeah, well, they-
William is William Becker, and Sir William is William Southey. I'm sorry, but it has to stick. That's your new nickname,
sure, well, they-
That's what?
Mr. Southey. Mr.
Ah,
Southey's new nickname is Sir William.
ah.
Catherine says she had her investigate her Instagram stolen. So I verbally abused the guy who stole it every day for 2 years. He eventually gave it back and not a single regret was had. Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Huh.
I like to see copycats copy what I do. Doubt if they would understand it.
I don't even understand it, and I can understand a lot.
It's years and years of study, and even then, it's understanding.
Yeah.
I haven't seen what he does really.
He's an alchemist.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Cat balls
And
are really only acceptable as evidence if it physically moves and lights up. Just flashing could be a couple of issues with the ball and a couple of issues with the surface that they're putting it on. If you get about 20 people in a room on floorboards, yes, it's going to move.
and
Doesn't
people
mean.
also too, if you don't take the cat ball apart and look at it, there's two different kind of cat balls. One with a screen with I don't know what it is exactly, but it's some kind of liquid trigger.
Oh.
Do you know what? I still scream. Ask William.
Oh, I make fun of her because here she is. She's a wonderful, incredible medium, and she screams when something happens. And shoot, Devin and I were sitting, and all of a sudden we wound up with a Vivian on our laps and our ears pierced just
My
because a
my
dress rustled nearby.
my 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 what you call it? My spidey senses when they go off, and I'm not expecting it. It does make me jump and say choice
Although
words or scream or
you didn't
something.
scream, you didn't scream when somebody shook the guest bed.
No, I didn't scream then. Do you know, I just hid under the covers, going, "Not now, not now, not now! I'm not
And
looking."
you didn't, and you didn't scream when all the doors and drawers in the hotel room opened overnight.
No, I didn't. I sat there looking, thinking, "What the hell? I'm not going to move until William opens his eyes." It was
I
funny,
don't remember the hall door ever being opened, but I remember a lot of things,
just a little bit.
and
So I want to talk about copycatting. I mean, we touched on it, plagiarizing people's work. So I want to talk about the book thing in the paranormal. So somebody does a lot of research, spends time writing a book, gets it published. They change one tiny little thing, they put it in their book, and they're publishing theirs. Do you think that there should be laws against that? I'm sure that there is, but
Against that.
it's happening a
yeah, I think
lot.
that's plagiarism, and I think
Mm.
that goes against copyright. Now, you may have to have a little trouble enforcing that, and it may take some money with the right lawyer or something. But
Yeah, you need
yeah,
to.
that's horrible. And shoot, I don't want to copy somebody else's work. I'm a good writer. And besides that, I don't know that they did the research correctly, unless
Yeah.
they've given me a bibliography that I can do. I have a bachelor's in history, resources, references.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rusty, but I also have a master's in public administration. And so the full MSL and whatever ways to write formal papers and stuff are my background. And like I say,
Yeah.
I'm very rusty at it. I haven't done it for years, but there are the ways you do things and the ways you don't, and you can use other people's work as a resource, and you credit it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Um,
It's like I'm like my book. It's going slow. I found a publisher that's willing to publish my book, which is great. But I'm doing my own artwork in my own book as well as writing the book.
good.
And my artwork has not been great, but it's slowing things down. But I will get it out there eventually, maybe just after Christmas. I was hoping to do it for Christmas, but it's not going to be at Christmas time. There's too much
I
going
wanted
on behind the scenes.
I wanted a copy for Christmas.
How
Now
about I
I'm going to
send you the
pout.
How about I send you the rough draft and you can do my proofreading?
I'm happy to be a proofreader, but you don't want me as the only proofreader.
Oh, okay.
Because I do, just the way my brain works sometimes, I'm really good at seeing what's supposed to be there, and sometimes we'll miss what it really is.
Mm.
Yeah. So let's go back to the comments. So Wayne says, I took a plastic cat ball apart. The cheap ones have an aluminium square inside. When the ball moves, it makes contact and lights up. Aluminium starts to expand. Yes,
Yep.
Wayne. place it on a solid floor in a place it can't move.
Yep. That's why I buy the ones with the spring in it.
Yeah. Oh, I was mean. I was verbally evil to the guy. I was a straight menace to the a-hole. Still from me, and I won't leave you alone forever. I like your way of thinking.
Mm.
Well, nearly all ghost groups were copying each other to start with. Yes, that's a good point, William.
But
That is a
we
good
used
point.
to get together to share ideas and share ways of doing it.
Mm,
So it was a mutual sharing over here
Yeah.
with the groups I know of.
yeah,
So I look at that as less a copying and more of a collaboration.
Yep.
yeah. Wayne says, I always research before I write. As a fictional writer, I have to make sure I'm not using somebody else's material. I found that quite easy. Quite easy, though, laugh out loud. William says, with respect, I doubt whether or not over half of them would know what the truth was, or if they found it, they would know what to do with it. I certainly wouldn't tell I think he means the people on social media.
Well, one of the things too about our field is we are in a field that we really can't prove the truth. We we have our interpretations of what our information collects and tells
Mm,
us.
mm-hmm.
We're using tools, if you're using the science method that aren't designed for ghosts. They're designed to register fields of some kind and changes within those fields
Yeah,
that we then put mix with other ideas or other changes, pieces to come up with a conclusion. But it's a theory, it's not a fact.
yeah,
And the work I do, I get confirmation all the time. I do whatever. You can look it up historically. Okay, that I can pretty much say is a fact,
Yeah.
but even with that, it's difficult to say absolutely. And when you
yeah,
start dealing with metaphysics, how much are we getting from other sides that is being presented as the reality, but
mm,
maybe it's not the full or real reality, it's what we can understand. So it's what's
mm,
presented. And the true reality is different. And it doesn't mean it's bad, it just means that it's something beyond the human psyche's comprehension or
yeah,
ability to absorb.
Mm.
And I don't know. I mean, that's a question I look at all the time. It's not a question we may ever have an answer to, including when we pass over from this side.
But I think the difference between you're actually looking for an answer. I think some
Right.
of the groups are just out there to get scared, hopefully, screw around on social media, whatever.
Hmm. Yeah. And there's a lot of that. And, I think it's rude to the entities, but,
Mm.
if I want to start judging everybody, man, have they got a list against me. I can't throw the first stone.
Yeah.
Can I also say there are also other extreme um, versions of copycatting, which is video,
Yes.
and we've had some instances of it in the chat already, talking about somebody's work had been taken over completely. Jeremy's had it, Caroline's had it, and other people have had it, but
I know
do we
people who
see
have.
that? Should we be seeing that? Yes, it's annoying and they shouldn't steal from you. Big no. And I'm not condemning that at all. But it's got that side of it is a bit, well, if they're copying my work, I must be doing something right then. You know? It's got that
Yeah.
side to it.
Yeah, the flattery, the whatever part. Yeah, you bet.
Mm.
I still say get a lawyer, take
yeah.
them to court.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is something like that. Copying's the biggest, or imitation's the biggest form of flattery, they say.
Flattery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Charles, good afternoon. We're getting flooded in central Texas. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Please, please, please stay safe, Charles. Please.
What about
Don't,
is your place safe, Charles?
I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hello, Sarah Louise. My favourite person, you. I love Sarah. You wait till we get to Barry. You wait. Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, and then I teach too. You know. Oh yeah, and you know most things are um oh what's are neutral. You look at the technology that we're using, the AI, uh, y- anything, and it's what people do with it that makes it positive or negative. And um, the investigation, everything else too, is kind of that way. And
That's good, Charles.
Oh, thank God for that.
good. I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
am.
you are. And I try. Now I can get angry and all the rest of it pretty quickly too. But um, if people aren't harming anybody, you know, it's their shtick. Let them do what they want. If it's,
Yeah.
but as long as it's not harming anybody, and that doesn't mean you know it's okay to steal. I just mean their technique. If they want to go and have thrills, and the entities want to give it to them,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
am I to say?
I don't think it's right if people are going in and doing that and forcing business. You know who I'm talking about, William.
Mhm.
Copycatting and then forcing businesses to shut as a result of it. You're taking away somebody's livelihood,
Yep.
Oh
and
yeah,
you need they you know some people need to stop and just think,
yeah.
why
And
am I
like I
doing
said,
this? What am I going to gain from it?
yeah, and like I said, as long as they're not hurting anybody, you take over
Exactly.
somebody's business. That's a different story.
Yeah, I think that's when lawyers have to be called in, and
Yeah,
it
and
takes
possibly
a
legal
hard
authorities.
stand. Yeah. Catherine says thieves are like insects. There's no nice way around it, and my mind cannot be changed. No, I think you're right, Catherine.
Yeah, I'm
Leeches
not
is what
happy
they
about
are.
thieves.
Yep.
But it depends on what context. If somebody wants to copy me and my mannerisms and the way I speak or the way I conduct myself on stage, then that's fine. I'm quite flattered, but you won't be able to do what I can do because there's many years
Exactly.
studying and
Yeah.
learning and doing what I do. But
Hmm.
and if I see somebody else trying to do it, it makes me laugh. Really, I just have to chuckle. But I've noticed that it's not just paranormal. This copycatting thing happens in all genres. Whether you're looking for Bigfoot or cryptids, whether you're looking at UFO, they're all at it. They're all rowing. They're all screaming and shouting at each other, and I think the world's gone mad. I keep saying it. The world has gone potty.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think we've always had a lot of it too. It's just social media and the 24-hour news cycle now make it in our face constantly,
Mm,
and that gives the impression that it's even worse than it is. Um,
yeah.
so, uh,
Hey, hey. Well, do you know what I'm going to do?
Hmm.
This is for you, Guy. I'm going to let you choose your own one.
There you go.
This is my jar of doom, which is not a bit. It's not as fancy as Eric's.
Stop.
Right. Okay. Right. I have a few here. So we got number one, number two, or number three.
3.
Yeah, I do 3.
Oh, nearly dropped it.
That's it.
Can people be haunted? Discuss.
Yeah.
Aha.
There we go.
That's that's going to be a good subject for you.
Wow.
So not just
Uh,
buildings, but can people actually be haunted? That will be a good discussion next week.
ask 10 different researchers and you'll get 30 different answers.
Wow, this man was.
You
I
think
wish
so?
I met him.
You think he was?
He was. Was that a test card? Yeah, he was at Castle Rising. I went down and put some flowers down there for his birthday on Tuesday, last Tuesday. But at Castle Rising, he certainly was haunted in more ways than one, but in a nice way. And they used to leave him presents and all sorts. It was an amazing thing that happened.
Yeah.
But that's your thing for next week, Eric.
All right, I wrote it down. Well, you'll do the so.
Yeah, I'll send you the thing. So yeah, copycats. I think copycats are here to stay. I don't think they're going anywhere. And depending on the type of copycat, I think if they are mimicking you or copying your techniques, it's something I think to be proud of, because if they're doing that, they're noticing what you're doing. You must be doing something right.
Yeah, but if they've got a better PR department than I do and are getting more people in, then I'm going, hey, wait a minute. Give me a cut.
Yeah. But it's hard to copyright certain things, you know?
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, what's that test card? Hi, guys. I'm sorry. I just got home from work. Sorry, guys. Crazy day. No, you're fine. I know that you're having a busy time at work just lately. So we'll let Parker off. But,
Yeah, I hope it went okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so have you come into any areas where you've seen copycatting, Eric, at all?
No, not really. I mean, just on social media doing the same stuff that they see on TV. That's the only copycat I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've seen it with some groups occasionally. But they all got pretty well ostracized because they tried to take over. You know, they'd start getting mean and pushy and try to take over, and
Yeah.
you know, it was people.
And that's where the bullying happens.
Bullied and pushed around, and it's rare over here. I've hardly ever seen it, but we've got most people I'm aware of around here are really pretty good about respecting each other and learning from each other, and sometimes learning that, okay, that's not the way we want to do it, but being respectful of other people's. Yeah.
That's right, Wayne.
Yeah, it's a good way to flunk out of graduate school.
Yeah. Do you think it's lack of education why people do that?
Sometimes.
Yeah, could be.
Sometimes it's because it's easier than doing it yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the lack of knowing even how to begin and the lack of self-confidence to do it. I think there are lots of things that go into it. Personally.
Yeah. Wayne just hit it on the head. It's worse if they copy and then pass it off as their own.
Oh, yeah.
More to do with they can't be bothered to do the research, should they take the shortcut, less hassle for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah. I think as the months and years, next few years, I think the paranormal investigating is going to decrease because prices are going to go up through the roof. And we're going to see less and less of people going out and doing their own work, and more of this copycatting, if that's what you want to call it, happening on social media. I think it's going to take a turn for the worse, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's interesting. Over here we still have
Right, Nicola?
um, people I know, they'll go if a place is open and they're there like, oh, Allegheny Asylum or something like that, they'll go and do a lot of times. But mostly they go to places on their own.
Mm,
And sometimes they're charged, sometimes they're not. We have a lot of places around here you can investigate for free.
yeah.
Shoot, the best EVPs I've ever heard came from outside and next to a busy road.
Yeah.
You don't have to have silence to get
No.
good EVPs. You don't have to have darkness to do investigating.
Yep.
And I think maybe it'll change the nature, at least over there where you have so many public events that are for profit. It's a business. And I don't have a problem with that, but I just don't see that as much here with the big investigations scheduled in any way. Um, there are places that do play off of their haunted reputation as a draw to get people in and will let people investigate,
Yeah.
but it's different. And so if people hear it might just go out of vogue because people are bored and they've found something else to do. But
Wade's just said something really funny here. He says, I went out with a team as a special guest last year and they copied the way the other groups did investigations, but due to them not being that savvy, they took 30 minutes boiling water on a camping stove for a coffee on the only break they had in a 6-hour event. And Wayne says he left after 2 hours. That's just so funny. Oh dear.
And that's why I still like my way that I want to do it better. Yeah, come stay at the place for a couple days, sleep overnight, do the investigations, and have breakfast, dinner, lunch.
mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It will. I think it will continue. I don't think we can stop anyone from doing it unless the victims of these really bad scenarios take it further and go to court. I really do feel there's not much really that people can do. They can threaten. You have to go through, especially over here in the UK, you have to go through certain processes with contacting the people, having evidence that you contacted them, trying to have that conversation and that mediation with them. And if that doesn't happen, then you slap it with solicitors' letters and then it goes to court. But then that all costs money. So you really have to be serious if you want to go down that route. But anyway, Josh says, when's the next one, Eric?
Whenever you want, Josh, you find the place, you name the time because you're the one with the nice family that has to do both.
Take Midgie spray as well this time.
Yeah, you guys went out on the one that you got eaten alive by mosquitoes together, right?
10 minutes we were out and like we just barely got set up to even try anything, and it's like, I'm getting bit by mosquitoes, let's go back to your house, and we sat and talked for a couple hours, and I got kidnapped by his youngest son, and
they do have bug spray you can, anti-mosquito stuff you can wear.
Yeah, no, we'll plan more ahead next time.
Yeah.
So William Southey's made a point here. He talks about Arthur C. Clarke. He was a true scientist into the unknown. Some people lack the understanding of the unknown. This is the education side of it that I keep bringing up over and over and over again because they don't want it. They want this fast hit.
Yep.
Because it is an intellectual science. That's what he's saying. And
Yeah.
history. They don't even want to know the history. They just want the EVPs.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what the EVPs may pertain to or what the entity, that's what you want to call it, is talking about. They
Well,
just want to get the EVP.
not only that, go into the place and sit down. Even if you want to use equipment later on, sit down and figure out what do you feel about the place. You know, is there anything around you? Can you hear animals moving around? Can you hear people talking? Cars going by?
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Wayne? Even on flight mode, you can set off equipment.
Mm-hmm.
If that's a known fact, you need to switch your phones off. I know a lot of people refuse to do that these days.
Well, and it's interesting too because I've also been in places where we've tested the phones and sent messages and calls and whatever, and they don't set the equipment off. So why they do sometimes and why not others, I don't
I think
know.
it depends on the equipment. Some is more sensitive than others.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what was I going to say?
Anytime,
There was
Josh.
something with that. I just can't remember.
So, next week you're talking about, can people be haunted? Discuss. So that's going to be quite interesting. And another thing that's really interesting is tomorrow night on the Spooky Show, we have a guest on, and he's a regular guest on our show, which is to do with the cryptid side, and he is Jonathan Downs. He'll be coming on, and we'll be talking about all sorts of weird stuff and nonsense. But I'm pleased to say that I think tomorrow, maybe next week, I think it's tomorrow, that one of the members of the CFZ goes on an expedition to, I think it's somewhere near Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, around those areas. So there's some exciting stuff. We won't hear from him for a long time, but when he comes back, we hope to have lots of stories and news about what he's seen and what he's found. But we'll be discussing that on tomorrow's show. So if you're interested in that, please tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And then Thursday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, when I was a kid, we used to hear of more Yenti, I think they called them, stories from that part of the world than the Bigfoot from around here.
Yeah.
And I live in a major Bigfoot capital.
Yeah.
So,
Eric,
I want
tomorrow, what are you on tomorrow and what are you talking about?
Yeah, we were talking about the missing 411 with the Fae.
Ooh, and that's in the Weird Room on Thursday at 8 o'clock. So that's going to be good. You have the Friday Night Freak Show. I don't know what they're doing. Catherine. Oh, yes, let me message you private. Catherine, message me privately. I've got you as a friend on Facebook, so message me privately and let's get you on the show. Love to. So Saturday, are you on? Is it next Saturday? This Saturday, William? When are you next on with Miss?
I'm on this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah, and I have Stephen LeChance.
Ooh, what are you talking about with Steve LeJohns? What does he do?
He's the first time I heard of him was on one of the big shows that he would talking about his experiences. He's got lots of best-selling books out. He's been on a lot of media. He's a really nice guy. We're Facebook friends, but he's actually pretty famous in a lot of ways, I guess. So we're going to talk about kind of wherever he wants to take it, and as well, it's we'll chat a little ahead of time and see.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Jonathan Downs is not famous at all.
Who?
Jonathan. He killed me for saying that. Apparently, he's got fans. Apparently.
Okay. Yeah. No, there are a lot of them out there. I mean, it's great. And the ones I know are all really nice people.
Yeah.
So, but that's who I've got coming on, and I look
Yeah.
forward to it. I really do.
And on
Somebody I've wanted
Sundays,
to talk to.
on Sundays, you have Shadows and Lights. That's a great show. So if you've got not much going on a Sunday, just tune in. Nettie will be there to receive you with Bri, and they talk about all sorts of weird and wonderful things. It's a great show to listen to. So I do recommend Shadows and Lights. And on Monday, you have the Dark Mirror Boys. So they're Monday nights at their usual time at 9:30. So there's lots going on, lots to see, lots to do.
And
if you miss any of the shows, yeah, watch them on catch up. We don't mind.
Mm-mm.
Eric, what are you looking at, Eric? What have you seen in your house now? Oh, he's going. Just about when we're going to close the show. Oh, I'm going to get Catherine on a show. I've got more than enough stories with the Fae. We're friendly. Now in the past, oh my God. Yeah, I'll definitely get you on a show, Catherine. It will be our honour, you know. So, and if you know anyone else that wants to come on a show, let us know. Just message us. We'll definitely consider everybody. So that's not a problem.
Do that.
Right.
I'm back.
Ah, here he is.
There he is.
Oh my gosh. I have to tell you something after we're done.
Okay. Right, so we're going to end the show here, guys. I hope we didn't bore you too much about this copycat thing. I will be back on the Things Network with my team of people on a week, not next week, but the following Tuesday. But
I think it's
until
going to be
then,
a little while before I'm back on.
yeah, can have a rest, William.
That's good.
Well, don't rest too much. Otherwise, I'll get you on my show.
Sounds good. Your
Anyway,
show's an
thank you.
hour later.
William Southey, I would love to have you on my show.
Yeah, me too.
I would honestly, if I ever go down to Glastonbury, I'm messaging you. We're meeting up. That's a threat. I feel like I know William, but I don't know him from Adam, really. But there you go. But right, we're going to end it here. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for putting up with our nonsense. And we do appreciate you, because without you, there would be no show. All that's left to say is to have a good rest of your evening or day or afternoon, depending where in the world you are. And we hope that we'll see you again soon. Take care, everyone.